Hi guys, it's Mixing with Ethan here, and today I wanted to talk about how your production and songwriting can affect the mix. So, your production and songwriting elements, when you're putting your ideas down, maybe you're working with a producer and you're a vocalist, everything's inspiring, creative, you're developing these sounds and you're growing it into a full song. You're doing the arrangement, the chords, the melody, all of that. But quite often you won't take the mix into consideration, which is completely fine. I mean, that's completely normal. You're in a creative state, you're developing these sounds, but there are certain things that if you just keep in the back of your mind, later on when it gets to the mix, you can get far better results just having these things in mind. So let me break it down. I have got 4 different points, and this can explain how by using these you'll get better results when it gets to the mixing stage, whether you're mixing the tracks yourself or you're sending them out to an external mixing engineer like me. So number 1 is emotion. So by this I mean you create an emotion, you set a mood for the song, and the mixing engineer or yourself, if you're mixing it, is there to enhance the emotion, not change the emotion. So if the emotion you're going for is something powerful, then if the vocalist isn't coming across as powerful, and if the chorus doesn't have sonic elements in it that feel powerful, the mixing engineer won't be able to make it feel powerful. If the singer is singing and they sound quite tired or not motivated, or the elements playing in the track are quite slow or whatever, this is just an example, but you get what I'm saying. It's like you can't change the emotion. I can't make the singer sound more powerful and excited if originally when they sang the song they weren't excited. So all you can do is enhance the emotion. So make sure you set the vibe, you make sure the emotion is there and that later on it can be enhanced. And next is the arrangement. So number 2 is the arrangement. So by this I mean if you be clever with your arrangement, you can have far more impactful choruses and things like that. So don't overfill your verses and your pre-choruses. Make sure you save some room to grow in the chorus. Don't overfill it. If you have, for example, a big drum part with bass in it playing during the whole verse and then it gets to the chorus, it might feel like it doesn't actually grow that much. So stripping back and leaving room to grow can really help in your arrangement. And also making sure you bring in and out certain elements that may clash with each other as well. You can take this into consideration. So if you had a lot of keys parts laid and maybe some guitars, maybe they shouldn't be in at the same time. Maybe it would actually work better if it was stripped back and more simple, because those elements actually clash because they're in the same frequency range. Moving on to number 3, this actually goes well with number 2 with the arrangement, is chords, melody and harmony. So by this I mean, when I was talking earlier about how certain things can clash because they're in a similar frequency range, maybe playing them in a different register, using inversions, playing them in a higher octave, whatever you want to do, maybe doing that could help a lot in terms of clashing. So instead of having to have a really hard time trying to make elements in the mix not clash with each other, maybe it's in the production and songwriting side of things that could free up that space. So by this I mean if you had a pad and then you had another string element playing in the same register, and then you had a guitar playing the same chords, and there's all these layers playing the same chords in the same register, of course they're going to clash. So by being clever and using inversions and different things, you can make them spread out on their own and not clash. So then when it comes to the mixing, it's even cleaner. And this can really help. So take this into consideration and realize that you can create a really good sounding demo by just being clever with your production and your songwriting. Number 4, the final one, is sound design and samples. So by this I mean use the highest quality samples you can find, use the right synth for the job if you're using synths, whatever it is, and just try and realize that it needs to sound good now. Don't in your head say, oh, that will sound good once it's mixed. You need to love it right now. If you bring in your kick drum and you don't think, oh, that hits really hard, I like the punch of that kick drum, it suits the track really, really well. If you don't instantly think that, It's not going to magically become better. Yes, it will improve in the mixing stage, but if you don't love it when you initially bring it into the track, then you're not gonna love it then. It's just going to sound a little bit better. So make sure the sonic elements you're choosing, you like them the way they are now, and if they're enhanced, it's going to be even better. But you can't pick something that you're not sure on. You should be sure of everything that you have. So yeah, that was my tips and tricks on how your production and songwriting can affect the mix. Hope you enjoyed it. Get in the comments if you have any questions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out my other videos on my channel. And if you would like your song mixed by me, you can email me. My email's in the description.